Welcome to What's in the Bag, where we give the voice to the voiceless and we let you say whatever is on your mind. My name is Marvina and I am your host.
Good morning,
Good morning.
everybody, to all my early birds. Good morning, welcome to What's in the Bag, early morning coffee this Saturday, beautiful morning with Marvina. First, I want to give honor to God today. I just have to give honor today before anything.
Yes.
This is all of Him and none of us. And then I just want to say welcome everybody who's on and all that's viewing. Welcome. We are so excited this morning. Excited because we get a chance to empty our bags today. This moment, this day, we get a chance to empty our bags. And that's what What's in the Bag was for, is to give a voice to the voiceless and let them say what is on their minds. I will please everyone, comment, share, post, just get us out there. We're out here moving forward, and some of the things that we empty out of our bags is not just for us, it's for other people. So just communicate and let other people know that what's in the bag is out here and what we're doing. Let me let you know this morning also I'm having coffee. I'm having coffee in my cup. And you know what I learned this morning? I'm going to be honest with y'all. I learned that, Yvonne, I really do not like coffee.
What?
I don't like coffee.
You like the creamer.
I like the creamer. I don't have any creamer, and I got some original. And I'm like, oh my goodness, this is not it. I don't like coffee. I like creamer. So now I can't taste the coffee. I'm like, I don't like this. But it's hit the spot because I think it's because of the effect that it does to me is what I like. It's not really the taste of the coffee in itself. And hey, BFF, y'all, you of course,
Good
y'all
morning.
know
Good morning.
my co-host, Yvonne.
Good morning. And I am drinking. I went into my BFF's pantry this morning and got some coffee. And she had a pot of community coffee. And it is really good. I don't have a shot of hazelnut in there today. It's an original kind, but it is good.
I got French. I think it came out. It came from the pack my sister got me, and it's French roasted. I need some cream.
So you trying to put it together?
My sister said she told me I'm strange, y'all. I am strange. Man, but it killed me because, not trying to be funny, but my stepdad used to drink coffee, and he would drink it hot, and he liked the taste of coffee. And then my grandfather on my mom's side, I used to watch him drink coffee, and he would drink his coffee when it was too hot out of the saucer. It was just the weirdest thing to us. But yeah, he would pour it in. My mom could tell you. She would tell you it would be in the saucer, and he would drink it out. I guess to cool it off. I never understood why. I never asked my mom, but maybe she'll tell me. Speak to her. But anyway, I love y'all. Thank you, Dada, for giving me this roasted French roasted coffee. I'm drinking it though.
Sprinkle your little cinnamon in there. I know you got it real sweet. Sprinkle your little cinnamon in there.
I promise you it's not sweet.
What? Oh, that's right. I forgot. You've been cutting back on your sugar.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for that. I'm so proud of you for that. Yeah, that's
Yeah, it takes a
Yeah.
lot because I'm like always up, but sugar makes me, and then I crash. So I have to actually remember what I'm putting into my body. I'm trying to exercise. I'm actually doing the right things. I'm getting up there, so I have to pay attention to my temple. So
That
that's
you
what I'm
yes.
doing. Yes.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
on that note, I would love to introduce our guest speaker today. And I don't know if y'all seen the capture. I have lupus. I have lupus, but lupus don't have me. Hashtag I have lupus. Hashtag I have lupus, right? And
Yes.
lupus don't have me. Don't have me. Well, and it gives me great pleasure to tell y'all the person that is emptying out her bag is my BFF, and Yvonne, and y'all pay attention. I mean, this is really a time for everyone to be able to empty out their bags. And we have to be honest, and we have to be able to empty our bags also on what's in the bag, because it's not just about everybody out there. It just gives us times to let y'all know what's going on with us, and we get our healing, so you can get your healing just listening to the story.
Mhm.
Well, Yvonne,
Yes,
what's
ma'am.
in your bag, girl?
Well, what's in my bag is something that you already touched point on, and that is paying attention to your temple, paying attention to your body. I feel like if I had not paid attention to my body, I honestly don't feel that I would be here today. You know my story, but a lot of people don't. In right before I turned 40, I started to feel different. Things, everything looked the same, but little things started to feel different. I walk differently. Um, I could look at something, and even the appearance of other things seemed different. I just felt out of sorts. And I said, what is going on with me? I go to the doctor. People would say, "Oh, there's nothing wrong with you." I even had people to tell me that it was in my mind, that I was having problems with my mind, and somebody even told me that I was a hypochondriac, somebody that basically wants something to be wrong with them. But I continue to go to the doctor. I feel like at the end of the day, as a doctor, you working for me. I'm not working for you. Every time I come, I have to pay my bill, and I'm glad that I kept on. In 2009, I had 5 surgeries in 2009, and still nobody could tell me what was going on. I went to Marvina towards the end of that. She didn't even know in the beginning that I was having these surgeries, and I was that, and those things were going on with me. But after that fifth one, I went to her and I told her, I said, "Girl, something is going on, and I don't know what's wrong." Come fast forward to 2010, I had 2 more surgeries. I had to have surgery on my leg. They told me that my cell count was the highest that they'd ever seen, and I had to get to the emergency. I had to get in there right away. They were doing emergency surgery. After that surgery is when I found out that I had lupus. I didn't know what lupus was. I had no clue. Everybody else around me were crying and carrying on, but I started laughing, and I'm gonna tell you why I started laughing. For the past 3 years, I felt like I was constantly stepping into a boxing ring and getting wore out, just getting beat up. Didn't know which direction it was going to come from, but I knew it was coming. But when they told me what was going on, a peace came over me. And I'm not making this up. God spoke to me and told me that I was going to be okay. He told me, and I literally started laughing right there in that recovery room. Marvina, she was in there. I started laughing. My dad, my sisters, they were there. My mom, and they were thinking like, "Oh my gosh, she's really lost her mind." No, God had put a face to who my enemy is, and it allowed me to really step back and start to see things more clearly. After I had that surgery, I got very depressed. Marvina would not allow me to be depressed. She told me there were no pity parties here and that she was on for the ride. I had to go to physical therapy. I studied, I learned everything that I could about lupus and what I was up against. And I found out that lupus is the great aper. It mimics so many different diseases. I've worked really hard to put together a team of doctors who were on my side, not somebody that would just tell me what they thought that I wanted to hear and just put a whole lot of medications in me. I fired doctors when when I realize when it's not working, what they're telling me is not working, and they're not wanting to hear what I'm saying. It's time for me to let them go and find somebody else that will listen to me. I have a team of doctors that work hand in hand with each other, and it's brought me a very, very long way. I still have some hiccups in the road, but not as bad. I don't take all the medications. When I was first diagnosed, I was on 17 different medications twice a day. And I was like a functioning zombie. I would be so swollen I couldn't even put on shoes, sometimes clothes. I just couldn't. But I still persevere, and I found this one doctor, and that was going through so many other ones, who sat me down and told me to bring in all my medicines. And when I did, he said to me, this is going to mix it, because you're taking it with this is going to cause you to have a heart attack. This has you swollen. This is doing this. And it was so many different medications that was working with the lupus, not working to go against the lupus and make me better, but working with it to make me worse. I had to study and learn. Now let me see, that was what, 2009 is when all this started. And we are in 2022, so 13 years later. I'm down to 5 medications once a day. And then some of those are only when needed. The reason why I'm telling everybody my story is that you don't have to succumb to what your situation and your circumstances are. I have been in there where they told me that I have brain damage. Marvin and I have seen the reports.
Yep.
The white matter increasing. I had to take 325 milligrams of aspirin. I do it every day. I have to take it every single day to keep my arteries from narrowing off. And when that man said I had brain damage, we looked at each other, started laughing. We started laughing because we know what God said. And I don't allow anybody to knock me off my square and take me outside of what God said to me. He told me that I was well. I'm well. Some people say, well, how can you be well and you have lupus? Some people told me that it's a curse. No, the God I serve does not allow me to have a curse. He allows me to have a testimony. And I just feel that sometimes God allows you to go through things, not because it's a punishment, but so that you can be a testimony to others. I get a lot of people to tell me, they say, oh, girl, you don't look like you have lupus. And I say, to God be the glory. Because what I won't do is, on the days that I don't feel good and I don't look my best, I don't come out my house. I don't, because I don't want a pity party. I don't want somebody looking at me and saying, oh, girl, it's going to get better, this, that, and the third. No, I want you to say, girl, you are all right. It's good, and keep it moving. I don't want any negativity coming into my space. I try to keep that negativity away from me. I was part of a group called the lupus group. And it got to the point, every time I opened up my Facebook feed, they were putting deaths. Someone that had succumbed to lupus. And I'm sorry, and I feel, I felt bad for them, but it was making me feel some kind of way. And I started counting the number of days that I had left versus living the days that I have left. Nobody knows how many days we have left on this earth, but you can live every day with purpose. When it started to make me feel some kind of way and I would go up into my head, I didn't want to, I got so depressed. I didn't want to go anywhere, do anything, be bothered with anybody. I had to remove all that negativity from my life. I removed that lupus group and I joined a group called Lupus.org. Lupus.org is a group that you can put your comments up there and they'll put their comments. You can interact with other people and they'll ask you different things that may help you get through. Some things, I spent about $6,000 going to the dentist and never had issues growing up, never had to have braces or anything. And then the one lady said to me, have them to check you for trigeminal neuralgia. No, no dentist ever thought to do this. So all that work that they had did, I didn't even have to have. It was just lupus mimicking and aping something else. So it made it feel as if I had these things going on.
Right.
The other thing is to have a great support system. I had to, if I didn't have the people around me and the support system that I have, it just I think I'd be a basket case because there was so much. And I always made sure that I had somebody in the room with me that's not afraid to challenge something that is heard. I've had a couple of my sisters and other people going there with me, but they sit silently by. This one right here, Marvina, she's quick to ask the questions. She's quick to ask the questions. And then I had another sister who, with any medicine I would get, she would get it on the computer and come back and say, this causes this, this, and this. These are the side effects. My mom and my dad, it wasn't a whole lot that they could do, but they prayed for me. My grandmother, she's not here anymore, neither is my dad, but they prayed for me. They stayed in my corner. Every day with lupus is not going to be a good day, but it's always, and it's certainly not going to be a bad day. You got your good days and you got your bad days. I take the good days and baby, well, let me tell you, I'm off to the races. I run with it. And people get mad at me because on my good days, I try to put everything into that day that I can. Like today, I am out and about. I have 3 baseball games to go to for my grandsons. And then I'm probably going to hang with them, get some dinner, whatever. But I'm going to put it in there till I just can't go anymore.
That
And
sounds
that
just like you. Yes, ma'am. I'm glad she's emptying her bag because it allows me to empty mine. Everybody ever wonder what our best friends was about? My best friend is my best. She knows me better than anybody. She knows more about me than anybody. But God. God's the only one that knows more than my BFF.
oh, my
But it
baby.
was to a point when I found out that this was going on. It was an assignment of mine to make sure that she was okay.
Yes.
And I remember once upon a time I was asking for a best friend, and it was so, I don't know, I knew. And when she started this walk, and it was like, okay, what can I do to help her get better? Even if I have to drive her there, if I make sure she get her medication. However, we stuck together. And what I loved about her was if any symptom came, she went to the doctor and she worked on that symptom. She did not sit home and woe me because I was not happy. I couldn't.
She wouldn't.
I wouldn't let no. It wasn't about lupus. It was about, okay, how are you going to live? How are you going to live? Are we going to sit around here and whoa, and I'm going to be trying to bury you and all that stuff? Oh, no. It got to the point, oh, you got a headache, call the doctor, tell the doctor what we doing. What time we got to be there? Every week.
Every week.
It was every week. It was sometimes 2 and 3 times a week. We was at the eye doctor. We were at a lung doctor. We was taking x-rays. We were doing a whole
everything.
lot. But I knew, she couldn't do it by herself. Her sisters, everybody was running. But God sanctioned it that I was able to be there in this walk, in her lupus walk. And it had, she got it, but it didn't have her. And I've seen a lot of people who have lupus, and I'm like, okay, you got lupus. It's, why are you going down so fast? Are you taking care of yourself? Do you know your temple? What is going on? Because I seen you fight a lot of things that a lot of people right now, if I start having a headache and I have lupus, I'm not going to sit around until the next day or a week later and then go to the doctors. I'm going to get on it right then because you need to know that your body is telling you that there's a problem, especially when there's an illness. Lupus, this is with any type of disease. I'm just saying I can identify with your lupus walk.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because I was there.
You were there. And for me, It's like if you guys get a cold, you guys have a cold. If I get a cold, my cold is the worst case of flu that you can possibly have. When I go to the doctor, I don't even allow them to prick my finger. I have one person that I will allow because she knows what she's doing, and she sterilizes. I got my finger pricked one time, and before we could leave, I had an infection. The worst flare, and you get various flares. You get different flares, and a flare is just where your body something is going on with your body, and lupus kind of picks up and run with it and makes it worse. And for you guys, and let me go back and explain. For you guys that don't know what lupus is an autoimmune disease. My body does not know the good cells from so it's constantly fighting against itself. A lot of people that have lupus have problems with their organs, and to God be the glory. I don't have issues with my kidneys and lungs and things of that nature, because what I learned and realized is wasn't necessarily the lupus that was causing people to succumb to it. It is the medications. A lot of the medications causes problems with the lungs, the liver, kidneys, and things of that nature. And I started to remove myself from those. I will walk around here in pain before I take certain medications. I just won't do it. And I have to be in extreme pain before I take pain medication. One of the worst flares that I've ever been in was with my eyes. So where lupus is attacking other people's organs, organs, it attacked my eyes. I was in a flare for 4.5 years to where I could not be out in the sunlight. If I was, I had to have on 2 pair of shades. I would sometimes have to wrap my head, just try and be in complete darkness. I moved from my house one time because the family room was all these windows and the sunlight. I couldn't function in that house because the sunlight was so bad that it kept causing things to flare up. I was being rushed to the eye doctor every week because the pain was just so intense. But I never gave up. I never gave up. When my doctors talk to me and they tell me what's going on, I said, "Ooh, to God be the glory." I said, "All right, Lord, you know what the next assignment is. You know what we got to get done." And I go ahead and I start working on that. When I'm out and about and I can't help it, when I see different people and God leads me to speak to them, I go ahead and I speak to them. And by me sharing my testimony, it has helped so many people. I can't even tell you the number of people that have reached out to me and said, thank you for being transparent. And I just believe in being naked and not ashamed. I don't have a problem with sharing my story. I don't have a problem sharing my story because God continuously spares me. There are times that I shouldn't be here. What was it, 2019? I could use this as an example. 2019, I'm looking crazy, but to me, I'm looking good. Speech slurring, but I feel like I'm doing good. The only thing that I knew that was different about me was I was like, "Oh boy, I sure am drinking a lot of water." And then lips all pasty and crusty, not knowing what's going on. And Marvina and my older sister kept telling me, "Something's wrong, Vaughn. Go to the doctor, go to the..." And I said, "No, I'm living my best life. I'm not going to the doctor this time," being defiant. I finally went to the doctor only because I was rushed to the emergency room because I couldn't stand. I couldn't keep my eyes open. Got to the emergency room, my sugar levels was 722. 722. To God be the glory. Because I remember, and my daughter was there, and I see she put a little comment up there. The doctor walked around the corner and he dropped his pad. And we all looking, and he said, "Oh my God." We're like, "What?" He said, "Most people with the sugar levels that high are in a coma. Definitely not sitting up and holding conversations and laughing."
My mama would know about it.
And I was in ICU for a week. But baby, let me tell you, I made a vow in that hospital. I said, "I am going to be the success story. I'm not going to..." I said, this isn't the end for me. This isn't my story." I went home and I took all sugar out. I took out so much sugar that my sugar levels were bottom.
Max said, "Put some back in, Lord. Just put
Yeah,
some."
they told me put some sugar back in. I took everything out. I didn't know that I could crash out from not having enough sugar. But once I got that balance, I was on insulin and pills. To this day, it has been almost a year, and I have not had to take a pill, and I have not had to take an insulin injection because I study and I learn the things that I need to do in order to live the best life that I can live. So, so like I said, my story is it's so much, it's so many different things that I could tell you guys. But the most important thing that I want to tell everybody on this today, know your body. Don't be afraid to say something is wrong. This doesn't feel right to me. My primary care physician was in there with me one day, and I told her, I said, I'm tired of being a question mark. And she said, "What do you mean by that?" I said, "Every time I come to the doctors, I've been to heart specialists, I've been to kidneys, I've been to all these different doctors, rheumatologists, everybody, and they're telling me they can't find anything." I said, "My ANA levels keep bouncing back and forth, and then they normal, but everything else is wrong." And she said to me, she said, "You know what? I apologize." And she said, "We're gonna take a different approach." She said, "You are the star of this show. All the other doctors, everybody, including myself," she said, "we are your supporting cast." And she said, "And the role of the supporting cast is to make sure that you are doing the best that you can so that show can keep going on." And when she said that to me, that was an empowering moment. And I never looked back. I never looked back. And here it is 13 years later. I never, after the issue with my eyes, I never thought that I would be able to be out in the sunlight again. I honestly never thought that I would be able to. I was driving at night with shades on and everything.
You gotta, I mean, I never had I mean, I was there for a mission. I felt like that, most of the things that I was doing, I did it in the spirit because I've never went through lupus with anyone before. I didn't know what to do, but I just know to hang on in there, and I hung on in
Mhm.
there with you. And your story is very deep because I guess I walked it with you. No, I know it's because I walked it
Yeah,
with you. And it's not even as easy cope as even just from you saying what you're saying to them. It's not. It sounds like okay, I just got through it, but it was a hard road
yeah.
and a lot of the pills that you had to swallow was so big that I commend you. I commend
Couldn't
you.
sleep.
I commend all of that because it was
Yeah,
not an easy road. And it was like a lot of times it was like, okay, put on your seatbelt and just enjoy the ride because we get ready to go down. It was like, okay, and that's when those flares was coming. I'm like, okay, what we got to do? And
yeah,
we get in there, get to the doctors, whatever had to get done. Because I knew God was telling me that it was time for me to serve in the manner that I serve. This is nothing different. It's not
yeah,
something that I don't know how to do. I can serve. And my mission, and I feel this way, it was to walk this with you. And
yeah, yeah,
now even when walking this through with you, what I'm doing in my in my work allows me to understand a lot of and what to look for and because this was like already embedded already in me, so I'll see it and I'm like, oh, this looks familiar. Like, wait a minute,
yeah,
you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
So it was a deep walk, and I commend you, BFF.
Yeah.
And
Thank you. Thank you.
thankful to God that um for this time that for you to be able to share what's in your bag and
Yeah.
even giving somebody your testimony because I missed that. That's something we was talking about that I get a chance to go and go into a wonderful session with some wonderful women on like I think the third Wednesday of each month.
Uh-huh.
um, and we were talking, also about, the same thing. It's we just gotta realize we all have a walk, and
Yeah. Yeah.
your walk is you know
It's been challenging. It's been challenging, and one of the most important things that I had to do was I had to stop being embarrassed. I had to stop being embarrassed. I went through a period of where I was embarrassed. I would have people say stuff about my eyes,
yeah, I remember
and
that.
oh my God, yeah, we were.
Old ladies, the lady
It
that thought
looked
you were
like,
smoking
yeah,
weed.
yes, it looked like my eyes had been spray painted red, and we were in the
Yeah,
store,
yeah,
and this lady came up to me, and she said, you ought to be shaming yourself."
yep.
And I'm like, "Huh?" She said, "You ought to be shamed out here looking like that, using all that stuff."
And
And
it,
it caught me.
yeah,
And
just
the old
because
me,
yeah, just because she looked like
just
something that
because,
she thought was, she literally came to her and thought she was doing, I guess, the godly thing or the motherly thing. I don't know what she thought, but it really bothered me because we look at stuff and we judge it because we think this is what the
yeah,
problem is.
yeah.
You know,
I've had
and
people, because I do have a slight limp sometimes because of the surgery that I had on my leg. I swell sometimes, like, oh my goodness, like you wouldn't believe. But I just feel like those are casualties of war. This is a war that I'm in. And
wow.
I've always felt that if you allow other people to choose your battleground, you're going to lose the war. So I don't allow lupus to dictate to me. So that is where I came up with hashtag I have lupus. I acknowledge I have it, but lupus does not have me. I am in control of how this affects me. I'm in control because I can control what I put into my body. I can control whether or not I take that medication or don't. I don't take all the pain pills for this very reason. They numb you out. So your body may be experiencing some pain, but because you have all that pain medicine in you, you cannot identify it.
Where's that?
I
No,
will sit there and be like, whoo,
can't figure it
like
out. That's
now.
the pain
And she was
medicine.
I have a pain underneath my shoulder blade that's been there for a couple of days now, and it was so intense I couldn't even really move the other day, and I scheduled an appointment. And the first thing she said, "You get that appointment done." My sister said, "Take a muscle relaxer." No, ma'am. No,
Mhm.
ma'am. I've never had this pain before, so now I need somebody to identify and tell me what it is. So when it comes again, I know how to deal with
It
it.
mimics so much stuff,
Yeah.
and if, and I know when they say the feet, you have to massage them out. And I know after a couple of days, if it's not going down, even when she rests, that means there's something else going on. Let's go find out.
Mm-hmm.
So, it
You have to be,
have
and
to,
you yeah.
yeah,
And I had to start being honest with people around me. A lot
yeah.
of people thought I was shutting them out or not wanting to be involved, and I had to start telling them, I really would like to come and participate, but my body won't allow me to at this moment, and
Right.
this is why. And a lot of people are used to me doing, and being involved because I ran track, I played tennis, basketball, you name it. For the longest time, you found me on a basketball court somewhere. And I had to pull back from some of the very same things that I love. What'd you say?
I'm sorry. She's short. She's short. I mean, she's short.
I'm
But when I
short,
see her throw
but I
that
can play.
ball back, that don't have nothing to do with being short, and it hit. And I be like, and then I'm just as tall and different, and I go throw it. It don't even halfway hit the net. It just goes to this way. Or to, I said, and that's because I got lupus. I don't care what you say. I got lupus, so that's why. But
But see,
anyway, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
but let me say, but honestly, the way that we talk is how I've gotten through so much. And then my daughter, some of the messages and things that she sent to me, and then being there. And she would say some of the very same things that I put impart into her, she turns back around and she imparted them right back into me.
So proud of her.
Sometimes God will bring you back to a point of remembrance
Right.
to where you're just like,
Did a wonderful job with that one.
you just
Let me
can't
say something. I can't hear
help.
you. Say it again. Say that one more time.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear
Yeah,
me?
now I can. Go say that again.
Okay. I said that sometimes God puts you into a point of remembrance. And somebody once said to me, the seeds you planted on yesterday came to harvest today. And that was my BFF, because I was always one of those people that I could help, but I couldn't take in the help because I never felt like I would be one that needed help.
Lagging like a mug.
But my BFF, she made sure, and I'm naked and not ashamed. She quit her job to make sure that I got where I needed. She wouldn't let other people do it because she wanted to make sure I still had health insurance and everything else. She said, we're gonna do this when I couldn't
It was
work.
an assignment.
Yeah,
I'm not
you
trying to
did
be
it.
funny, but it was an assignment. I didn't
You
know
did
how
it.
we made it through.
Can you
And
pull up the? I cannot pull that up. I was trying to put up
what?
some of the messages from on the side. I couldn't pull it up. It won't do it on my
Okay,
side
which
like it ever
one?
does.
Which
I
one you
saw
want? The
mommy
one where
something.
okay,
The
let
one
me
from
let me look.
Nisha.
Let me see.
Okay.
Okay, I'm getting ready to run it. Okay, hold on. I'm sorry, I got interested in what you were saying. I apologize, y'all. I think this is the one. Look,
My baby.
she sure is a superwoman. You know that's right, Naisha. You are too. All you gotta do is look in the mirror. It's a reflection. I mean, they even look alike. It's so. My grandbaby do not believe. My
She does not.
grandbaby, and a lot of y'all know Leilani. She is such a smart young lady. I love that thing. Oh, I
My
can't wait.
lima bean.
That's how it's made for. But I cannot wait to introduce her really to y'all. She's getting
Yeah.
ready to come in here and blow some of y'all minds because she's such a smart young lady. But she do not believe that her daughter is her daughter. She believes that that's her sister. She will not take no for an answer.
Mm-mm.
That is not your daughter. And if you look at them, you would say the same thing. They look just alike. She don't look like her mom.
Remember we were at that restaurant and the owner came out and said, "Oh my God, we have twins in here. We got
Twins in
some twins,"
here.
and we're looking around looking for the twins.
And it's true because they look beautiful,
Mhm,
beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
mhm,
And
mhm.
I'm just in all of your walk, Yvonne, and grateful to be your
I
friend.
thank you.
Grateful to walk these journeys. We have a lot of little business adventures together. We might have been sitting around. Y'all think I know I didn't just
No,
leave my job. Oh, we got companies coming up. We already got stuff going on. We
yeah,
ain't gonna talk about because we know it's just got to. Sometimes you have to just walk inside.
yeah. You you're looking at some hardworking women,
We
and I
are
just feel
hard.
that through our walk, and because we are so transparent, and we do everything from the heart. God is blessing us tremendously. And I know that I'm blessed. That's why I wanted to share my story. On the flip side of that and the success side of that is this. By me being naked and not ashamed, I work two full-time jobs simultaneously doing the exact same thing. One of the owners I've known for years, and he reached out to me and he said he knew what I was going through and that he would work a program to where I could work from home. Several years later, another job comes along and they allow me to work from home. And that is all a part of being naked and not ashamed. We live in a world today where people try to hide so many things, but try not hiding and just saying, "Hey, here I am," and watch and see how things come to you. And then I always say this too when we close out. I said, as always, stay blessed, be a blessing, and have a blessed day.
Yes.
Continue to walk in God's favor. Take some of that favor and share it with somebody else. Whether it is a simple smile, a hug, a quick hello, acknowledge that someone exists. That's all we want to do. We want to know that we exist. Let somebody know that they exist. And then when I say have a blessed day, you go out there and you grab that day by the horns and you make the best of it. You make the best of it. There's no woe is me. There's no need of sitting around and just letting the days pass you by. It's so much to do in a day.
Yes, listen to this one right here. And let me say something. I love exactly what my BFF says, and my mom, she can testify to it, and a lot of the seniors. And I make it my business to serve and make people smile, and because I don't know how long we're all going to be on this earth. I've seen people leave here. One day I see them and we smiling and laughing, and the next day they're gone. And it's, and they all have a story. We don't know what their story is, but it's just right now, life is too short not to be kind and give a
That's right.
smile. Be just serve somewhere, just do something to show your gratitude, because it's so short, and it's my
Hmm.
BFF, and I didn't never take it more as doing what a BFF, a best friend, was supposed to do for their
Yeah.
best friend. I wasn't taking, it's not about me taking anything from it. It wasn't no negative motives behind it. It was like, okay, now while we're doing this, we're going to start building our own company. We're going to do this and we're going to do that, but we know Lupus is still there. We know he's there or she's there. I don't know what if it
It
has.
is there.
Yeah, I didn't know if it had a gender or not, but I'm just saying it's still there. But we don't want Lupus to stop us to get
Right.
where we need to be, because my journey now is to make sure that my children, one day, my children's children, have something to lean back on. And that's because I'm serving and I'm planting seeds. And I know the God that I serve was telling me, great seeds that I plant is the harvest. It's not always financial, it's just giving
Mm.
of myself. If it's not taking her back and forth to the doctors, if it's not, just giving some love and hugs and kisses to some people. That was my issue during the COVID time, because I'm a hugger, I love. And I couldn't do that. And now we're getting a little bit back, but we're able to give that love.
Hmm.
So I'm so glad. I appreciate you, BFF, for being on here and telling your story and emptying out your
I
bag.
thank you.
I hope some people, everybody, whoever is watching, got a little bit out of, if not a lot, out of her bag. That
Yeah.
she was being naked and not ashamed. I love this thing. She knows I love her. I love all of y'all for allowing us to tell y'all, tell what's in our bag. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Look, visit us on Facebook on What's in the Bag. Also, we have YouTube. That's What's in the Bag 21. Look at YouTube. YouTube allow you to see the videos without having to scroll. It's a very good way of just looking at some of the old ones. And also, if you see me on doing some TikToks, that's my thing. I like to relate, and it all has messages. It's all something I love to do. And if you like some of the laughter, come see about me. And
That's
again,
right.
we love you. We thank y'all for joining us today. This is all about what's in your bag. If you want to share it's what's in your bag, please reach out, because we're going to go ahead on and talk about what's in your bag. I love you,
That's right.
BFF. Thank you
Love you
so
too,
much.
beautiful.
We love
Thank
you.
you
Thank
guys.
you. Hugs and kisses to you all.